good.
I'm here, which means something.
It does.
So were you worried in the season finale, or did they assure you?
That sort of direction at the end of the season was sort of what they pitched when I first got the role, and what I knew was happening. It was all the filler stuff, all the stuff with my mother coming to Earth and trying to conquer and me ultimately having to aid and her defeat. That was all the big story that they threw at me. This is Mon-El's arc. Selfish to self-sacrifice. But what I didn't know was what I knew I was still involved, and I had hints of what they were thinking, which I can say very little about. I'm sworn to secrecy, but yeah, Mon-El, this hypothetical return would probably bring some new dimensions to the show in ways that fans are probably going to
I had spoken to you for Empire. Actually, did a long interview profile. But it's gross. But the point is, during that conversation, you mentioned the fact that you had seen the costume, it was badass, and all that.
I face with the. Yeah.
That's right. Right now you remember. Okay. But the question is, you brought up the costume, how badass it was.
Sure. Yeah.
What happened?
So there was a suit. We've had a suit since the third episode of last season, and it just kept on getting pushed back. I don't write the show, I'm not the show, I don't call the shots, although sometimes we all wish we did. But there was a suit the whole time, and it was it was one of those things that the character wasn't ready for, and they kept on thinking that he could do this and do that, and they kept realizing that it was stronger to have that moment at the end right before he makes that sacrifice, to have that be the first moment he's really clicked into hero. And you have to earn the cake. You can't be a hero and still be selfish. You can have moments, get it wrong, he was still too much of a mess, I think. They thought it was going to evolve one way and it's really unfolded a different way. I think it worked out for the best because now it gave us a really cool launch to start from.
What can you tell us about where he ended up? Do you think he deserved that now?
That he what?
What can you tell us about where he ended up in the finale? Do you think he does deserve that now?
I mean, to me at least, Mon-El, he started super flawed with this really small-minded perspective because of his background, his wealth, and his inability to relate to people. And he ended the season and only caring about himself and saving himself. And he ended the season by being willing to die to save an entire people of a planet that is not his own. Which is sort of the furthest he could have come from the beginning. And I think what that shows is that the change, instead of having an external force like Mara saying, no, this is right, you want to become this. Him being willing to do that and saying this is what I think we should do shows that the change is now inside. And I think once he's crossed that line, he probably will come back. So that's when I think you're allowed to have a switch.
Yeah.
When it's now inside of you as opposed to you're doing it to someone else. Yeah, I think so.
So he did that for Earth, but Daxam obviously came back at the end, and with Rhea gone, there's sort of a power vacuum for the Daxamites that were kind of turned away. Do you think that Mon-El maybe had down the line, he might feel a responsibility to go back and lead his own people and try to, basically. I mean, was that maybe something that crossed his mind? He fled, but he could have fled with them, theoretically.
I mean, in that episode before Rhea kills his father, you see a moment when he sort of talks his dad into reform our way of life that's changed. It's not any normal that people we were before again. It's and I totally think the Daxamites are still out there running around. There's a chance to feel compelled to bring some of the love and the humanity of what he's learned back in. And I don't write the show, so I don't know.
Yeah.